Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're going to be diving deep into the HYTE Y70s. These are my favorite PC cases of 2024. I absolutely love the touch display. They make them in a bunch of different colors. We got black on black, we got all white, we got the red, and then the black on white. It's absolutely my favorite PC case. Today we're doing it in the red. So without further ado, let's get into building, shall we? All right, and starting it off right, today we're using the X670 MSI gaming motherboard. Truthfully, we were supposed to use a black board for this build because it kind of matches the red aesthetic, but we didn't have any in stock, so the only other option, we got this white motherboard. I still think the build's gonna turn out really clean, and let's open it up. This one is a new addition. It actually has a little bit of green in it. It's too bad that HYTE doesn't make any green cases. But what do you guys think? I think it's a pretty solid board. I mean, it looks really nice. It even has a bunch of the slots, USBs on the back, so this is gonna be a great, fun build to work with. As well for the CPU, we're using the one and only 7800X3D. So let's get into it. The only thing from the motherboard box that I needed was this Wi-Fi antenna, which is gonna be useful if you're using Wi-Fi. So I'll put that off to the side, and let's begin building out the motherboard, shall we? First things first, we're gonna take off the contact frame. I always like to use one of these guys. They're very nice contact frames. They keep temps much lower. They do a great job. So for any Intel or even the new AM5s, we always throw this in there. So one thing to mention, I've been getting a lot of heat about this. People say I'm installing the CPU contact frame wrong. Well, just for you guys, I'll put the CPU down first, but it really doesn't matter. You can take off the contact frame first, you can put the CPU down first, doesn't matter, as long as you're not bending any pins. That's the most important part. We don't want any bent pins. Okay, now we're gonna unscrew every corner. All right, so I managed to pop off the contact frame that comes with it. Now that we got the CPU down, time to add the contact frame. Remember, AM5 always comes with extra screws. Intel LGA 1700, you just reuse the ones that come with the motherboard. And we're just gonna lay that down nice and gently. Boom. Time to screw in each corner. We're doing one corner at a time. All right, and contact frame's down. We got the processor in. Next thing is, let's move on to the SSD. Pull off the heat shield, and for this we're using a Kingston 1TB NVMe. If you want to order this PC and you need more storage, feel free to request it. We do offer a lot of upgrades even for our fully built, so if you guys ever want more RAM, more storage, you feel like terabyte's not enough, just reach out to us. We'll upgrade you guys. Put the heat shield back on. Very nice. And now we're moving on to the RAM. For the RAM, we got 64 gigabytes of Corsair Dominator DDR5. That's an amazing kit of RAM. Obviously, Dominator, one of the best, most expensive, but it's really nice. I kind of like the design of this, especially over the regular Vengeance. I don't know, kind of looks more like Darth Vader. I don't know why my brain goes to Darth Vader, but kind of looks like Darth Vader's RAM. Really nice, I like it. So let's go ahead and add it in. I've seen this mistake being made so many times, especially when people bring in their PCs for repair. They like to put them in slots A1, B1. Always just listen to the manufacturer, put them in A2, B2, and you won't have any issues. Boom. Okay, done. So we got the cooler now. We're using the H150 LCD from Corsair. Oh, almost dropped it, but I didn't. Still a great cooler. I really like the LCD on it. You could put images, GIFs. I've even seen people watching videos on them, so really cool cooler. Let's go ahead and add it in, shall we? First, we're gonna unbox it. Cool thing about Corsair is the new packaging. It's all recyclable, which is nice. It has a different material. What happened, Corsair? Those usually come in Those usually come in separate packaging. I don't know what happened, why they're falling out. So another cool thing I like about this version of it is that the fans are already pre-applied. So it makes my job a lot easier, especially because they're pre-applied. I just have to connect some wires, add it in, and boom, that's pretty much it. All right, so I got all the hardware attached, all the cables linked up. All that's left to do is plop it right on the CPU. Remember, you don't need to add any extra thermal paste because it's already pre-applied on there. Go ahead and lay that right on down. Beautiful. And now we got 4 little screws that we got to connect. Also make sure with a cooler especially, you want to do 1 corner at a time for even distribution. I like to do first the top corner, then I go on to the bottom. And it just makes distributing that thermal paste a lot easier, a lot nicer, no issues. We don't want to have any overheating CPUs, I'm telling you right now, especially not the 7800X3D. All right, the next thing we gotta do is set up this case. Look how beautiful this looks. I absolutely love the red finish. And here's a little fun fact. We got over 40 of these cases from HYTE when they first dropped, and we only got 1 red. This is the only one that we got, the only red model, and we thought let's build something special out of it. Let's do a YouTube video, and at the end of this, you guys can actually buy this on our website. It's gonna be a 1 of 1. We're probably never gonna build it again, especially because you can't get your hands on these HYTE Y70s. They sold out everywhere, and here's another little fun fact. We bought these for $4.99 retail Canadian plus tax, and if you go on eBay and check the prices, they're anywhere from $800 to $1,000, so almost double in price since their launch. Really rare cases, really nice. I love the HYTE Y70s, so let's get into it. First, pop off the top, then pop off the side. Look, even the side is red. This is super cool. I can't speak better about this. I can't speak more highly about this. All right, I'm gonna drop the case down and let's bring in the motherboard. So I have the motherboard just over here. Beautiful. All right, time to drop the motherboard. I'm putting this PCIe riser to the side and we'll just lay it right on beautifully. And I'm just gonna add the PCIe slot to the riser cable and we're gonna get that done after. All right, time to screw in the motherboard. So HYTE provides us with a bunch of screws and a bunch of extra little cool stuff, such as this mini HDMI to DisplayPort or DisplayPort to DisplayPort. This is what's gonna activate the screen and give you image to it. All right, time to screw in the motherboard. Let's get it. Okay, perfect. All right, motherboard's in. We're gonna save this DisplayPort for the customer. We're gonna put it alongside his Wi-Fi, and then finally the power cable when we get to that. So before I get into the next part of the build, I just wanna add 2 packs of fans. We're adding 3 at the side. We're gonna add 2 at the bottom, and then we're gonna add 1 at the exhaust, and let's start getting that done, and then we're gonna come back to the next part. Boom! All right, so we just got the 3 fans installed on the side. We got the back one, and then we got 2 in the bottom. Next thing to do, move on to the power supply. So for this, we're using MSI 850 watt gold. It does come in white. We said we didn't have a black motherboard. We don't even have any black PSUs right now. We're very low on stock. So to match the motherboard, we went with the MSI, obviously. Beautiful power supply. Let's go ahead and install it, shall we? Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Look at this. I love the aesthetic of the MSI stuff. It's absolutely phenomenal. Beautiful looking power supply. Let's go ahead and pull out some cables. Now we definitely don't need all the cables for this build. So power cable, we're gonna keep for the customer. Move that onto the side. And let's pull out this monstrosity of cables. So for this build, we're gonna need the following cables. 24 pin, obviously for the motherboard. We're definitely gonna need the CPU. We're going to need another CPU. And finally, we need PCIe cables and some SATA. That's it. Usually, I would recommend getting a 600 watt card like the NVIDIA ones, but for this, we were going Radeon. We thought Team Red, let's do AMD for everything. So AMD, they don't take the 600 watt. That's why we got the PCIe cables. All right. So it's time to move on. We're gonna add the power supply. A thing I really like about this case, HYTE does have included this PSU holder. So when we're adding it in, it's just as simple as sliding it in, and then we have access to screw it. So let's go ahead and screw that down. So moving on, we're adding the 7900 XTX now, a beautiful Radeon card. Without further ado, let's get it. So for this, they're all vertically mounted. So you wanna make sure you get that PCIe riser in the motherboard, in the right slot, and then go ahead and just... Vertically mounting is never easy. So I like to go from the other side, and I like to look from a bottom view. And once you kind of see it in place, it just goes right in. Beautiful. And just like that, we finished this beautiful HYTE Y70 build. I know it's a little bit of a Frankenstein build. We got the white motherboard, the white power supply, the black card, the red case. It is a little bit of a mess, but it's still a beautiful HYTE Y70. It's the only red HYTE Y70 we're ever gonna release on our website. So it's a one-on-one. If you guys are interested, check it out on our website, www.gamertech.ca. Awesome. Okay, plugging it in 3, 2, 1. Poof! Wow. Beauty. We got the Corsair H150i is just waking up right now. It was just asleep. It always takes a second for the RGB and everything to kick in. I'd say this is a beautiful build. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. I can't wait to share more of these videos with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, a peace. Well, we got the X6. I love the HYTE Y70s, so